this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Alright, well, it's another night session, I know. You know what that means? We have a lot of stuff to do tonight. Let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? So, I actually have a little bit of a confession to make. It is Saturday night right now, which is a little unusual for me to be filming a log. Usually I don't take the weekends off, but I'll maybe do like 1 or 2 during Saturday and Sunday. Like, I still practice every day, but just, it's more sparse. During the week, I'm really focused. I skipped the extravaganza yesterday. I think I'm gonna start doing them every other week from now on, just because they are so intense to edit now. Like, man, that last extravaganza took me so long to edit. I did it like all in one day. It's not gonna affect anything. You're not gonna notice any difference. It's fine. I'm just talking to you. So, that being said, it's Saturday. I've already had a beer. This one's gonna be however it goes. I'll let you know when it's Monday. You'll know when it's Monday, because I'll just be so lasered in. But right now, we're just kind of chilling, you know? Alright, what are we doing today? It's a night session. It is dark out. I'm gonna work on the Morel movement too. I mean, that has just been the name of the game. I've been going kind of slow on that. I feel like I've said that so much recently. And you know what? I'm probably not gonna make that much progress today either, because again, it is Saturday. I'm chilling. I'm just kind of showing up. I'm clocking in, but when my boss isn't looking, which my boss is you guys, I guess, because you're the only ones watching me. I don't know how this analogy works. Well, I've been taking this time to answer comment questions, so let's take a look at the comments section. There's a lot of good ones. Man, I'm sorry, like, I don't mean to plug this again, because I feel like I plugged this a lot of times in a row, but I'm teaching through YouTube now. But I'm now realizing how much gosh dang work it is setting up my own thing through, like, Zoom and, like, the Zoom scheduling and, like, figuring out how to send invoices through PayPal and all that. So, I feel like I haven't really been replying to comments as much. It's not because I don't care, because I do care. I love all your comments, but I've just been working a lot trying to make this work out. Because all the way up until now, I've been using a separate company with their own software that does all the scheduling and invoicing for me. So I have to learn how to do all that stuff myself, to teach you guys. So, you know, forgive me. But I will get to you, and I guess I'll answer some of your questions here. I'm not exactly in a question-y, answering-y mood at the moment, but I'll do my best. I mean, I'll try to give you something. Alright, this is one I wanted to talk about. This one's from Ridicules. What's up, man? Friend of the channel. Quality content once again. Dude, butter me up for the question. Alright. It never hurts to compliment me, guys. Remember that. And this was the episode where I stubbed my toe. You know what would make stubbing your toe hurt slightly less, though, right? Just saying, no, you're not gonna get me to wear socks. Thanks for answering that question. I assume that the question that I answered was regarding what I'm about to say here. I was going to ask the exact same thing. Man, it would really help if we knew what the question was. I think I wasted a lot of time before realizing slow practice was the way to go. Oh man, dude, like, so is everybody. I mean, who likes practicing slow and who doesn't naturally? You have to be told to do it. I'm guilty of not slow practicing too. Like, how many times have you heard me say, all right, I'm mainly gonna slow practice this, and then you do the fast forward sequence and you hear me just ripping through it full speed. But I still think I'm a bit weak on scales and arpeggios. Any approach you'd recommend? Well, first off, for scales and arpeggios, I actually have a bit of an update. I also feel like I'm a bit weak. Not like my knowledge of scales, of course, because my knowledge of scales is so vast, but my actual technique. I haven't played guitar today at all. I just think back to David Russell just doing his, and I really want to be able to do that, like, fast. Like, that is not good enough. So I think I'm actually going to start all of my practice sessions from now on with a bit of scale work, because I really don't practice, like, technique and scales right now that much, and I think I probably should start, because I'm starting to approach a bottleneck that I'm noticing. And really, that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to solve problems as we see them. Right now, I'm noticing my scales, like especially my IM, it just needs to be a little faster, a little cleaner, so I'm going to work on that. There are a few ways that you can practice scales. Something that I see quite a bit with guitar, and this is like, these are the only scales that you're ever, like, taught in university, I feel like. You're taught, like, the long Segovia scales. Those ones where they're like 3 octaves, which those scales are really good, specifically for 2 things, I think. One, learning how to shift properly. So you want to, like, pay attention to the fingerings of them. Like, for example, when you have 3, shift to 2, 3, shift to 2. It'll teach you how to shift in any situation, and that's really good. It'll also help you with just, like, playing them, too. You'll build that technique. And I find that the scales that I use a lot, especially for reading, and also they build technique all the same, are the actual position scales. Like, for example, if we're in G, you have this position, where I play it all in 2nd position. You have the same root note, like 5th and 4th position there. So there are 5 different positions that I just played all of them that you can play each scale in. And if you learn all of those and get really comfortable with those actually help you with sight reading. Like say I'm in D major and I see a scale passage of like high D all the way down to F sharp. I'm thinking of those scale positions. So I'm not even necessarily thinking of each individual note there. I'm actually just thinking of the scale positions that I practiced all the time. So, you know, learn the Segovia scales, learn the fingerings for all those and everything, but also learn the positions for each scale too, so you can cover every single note across the entire fretboard. They're both important. Yeah, and then what was the other part? Oh yeah, arpeggios. I'm just kind of talking now. This might be like super rambly. Something else that's really good with those scale positions, like learn the scale, of course. Also, think through the arpeggios, like even just the 1 octave arpeggios. Do some, hey Mr. Sandman or whatever. And really try to think through those. I'm really thinking now. Think through the 1 octave arpeggios. Like, those are really important for jazz, but I feel like for stuff like this, like that's all jazz right there. Like, I memorized that so quickly from just jazz practice, and a lot of that practice is just taking our scale positions and then picking out each arpeggio. So work through that in every position, and you're hearing me play a lot of the triads plus the extended 7th note. I don't know, I just feel like they work better on guitar to play them. I like playing 7 chords more than I like playing triads. I don't know what that is, but it's something. And really getting my fingers under those arpeggios, just the 1 octave ones, that really helps with a lot of the arpeggio playing in the pieces that I work on, especially the Bach. I feel like there's so much parallel between like bebop, jazz, shredding, and like Bach. Like, it's so similar. Like a year ago or so, I was really into transcribing Charlie Parker solos, and it's amazing how if you just slow it down a bit and just play it straight, it just sounds like Bach. And if you take Bach and then like just swing it and like maybe speed it up a bit, you could totally like grip that over like Donnelly. So, but those little arpeggios and also like scale positions, I just don't see that as much in the classical world. Like, I feel like it's all about the Segovia scales and then learning arpeggios through like right hand arpeggios. You never really think about left hand arpeggios that are in like one position. I think those are important to work with as well. So in summary, scales and arpeggios, you want to play them in all kinds of ways. There are the long scales, and then you can play short scales, and same thing with arpeggios. There are big arpeggios that you can play with your right hand. There are also little arpeggios that you can play with your left hand. You know, there's that whole Segovia thing, like the guitar is a whole orchestra of instruments. Well, each instrument in an orchestra plays things differently. Like, I feel like the way a flute or like a trumpet is played, it's very melodic, single line, and you can also play guitar like that, melodic with single lines, and then you can also, I don't know, not an orchestra instrument, but the piano, very chordal, then in like block chords instead of driven through linear harmony. There are a lot of different ways to practice things, is my point. Hopefully that was something. I'm gonna end this part now, and let's go ahead and make our way to the piano bench, shall we? Alright, I have no expectations for myself. I'm going to practice for exactly how long I feel like practicing. Like, that's the thing. You've seen a lot of sessions where I'm, like, sad or, like, something. I feel like you haven't seen as many where I'm just like, whatever. I'm over it right now. I practice all the time. It's the weekend. I guess that's because I don't usually film that much on the weekend. Maybe this will be, like, a special kind of log. Like a weekend practice log. Ramble. I mean, I always ramble, though. Oh, yeah, the Morel Sonata. That's what we're doing. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. I will see you on the other side. I've had a couple of beers, and I'm ready to just call it a night. So, what am I doing? Oh my god. Alright, so I was going to play the third movement for you, but then I tried playing it, and that is just way too technical right now. So, I'm going to... Well, let me actually bring you closer. It's one of those nights. Saturday night, everybody. I'm not going to play anything crazy for you. I have this sock on my guitar, because the strings keep rattling, and I can't find my string cutters, so, you know, that's where we're at. I'm gonna play the second movement of the Morel Sonata for you, and I'm going to take my sweet time with it so I don't strain my inebriated little brain too much. And you know, I'll try to make it pretty for you. How about that? And this is where we, you know, wait, all right, we're stopping there. But, you know, pretty sweet, right? Isn't that a sweet little melody? It reminds me of being a child. But yeah, I love that one. I don't feel like watching a video. I'll tell you what I feel like doing. I feel like ending this practice log here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand up for the outro. I'm gonna do a regular outro, but we're gonna chill here for a second. Hold on. I'll be ready for the session tomorrow. We're gonna work on some Bach. That's gonna be pretty interesting. As usual. But you know, I made some progress in the Morel second movement. Like, I started looking at the second page, which is good. I've been kind of taking my time on that one, but we'll get through it. I'm looking at some other sonatas for the future. Maybe a Ponce. Alright, well, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, shall we? Hey, well, you know, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, all that stuff. Yeah, and I've opened up lessons for YouTube viewers, so if you're interested in that, if you want to talk about scales and arpeggios one-on-one, or work on some music, learn how to sight read, you can just contact me with the info in the description. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to leave them. I'll answer them in the chair, or you can just say anything at all, and that's fine. Alright, well, I'll see you tomorrow.